Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music. Easy, quick lesson today. Got a question about setting up the ROLI Seaboard Rise. I have a 49. I also have a couple of the blocks to use with Arturia's Pigments. I'll tell you what, it's not terribly hard to set it up, and I'll show you quickly. I also just want to talk a little bit about how MPE is, I really think, just a very important part of a performer's, any keyboard player's sort of arsenal of expressive power. We're starting from scratch, and the first thing I want to make sure is that my computer sees the Seaboard Rise. I'm connecting via Bluetooth. There's my Rise right there, and I will connect to it. Once I connect to it, I can open the dashboard, which will see the instrument. And I have a number of options here. I can select profiles that I've built for specific instruments or instrument setups. Let's just use MPE default for now. And now when I play a note, it senses a number of components. For instance, pressure. You see the circle getting bigger. I can slide away. I can drag up and down. Okay, let's open Pigments and take a look at that. Okay, I've got Pigments open in Logic, and it's not even the most recent version of Logic, but of course, any host that handles MPE will do. And the Pigments version that I'm using is 5.0.1. The most recent builds all handle MPE. I think maybe it was from 2.0 that MPE became compatible. Check to make sure you have an MPE compatible version of Pigments. Once you're there, it's not terribly hard to turn MPE on. In the upper right corner of the screen, there's a gear gadgety logo. And when I click on it, I get a sidebar that gives me a number of awesome tabs, including how I can set up control surfaces and things like that, some various tutorials. But let's stay in settings for the time being. Down below, we have MPE settings, and enable MPE is either on, as it is now, or off. If it's off, you won't see any of those options. I'm just going to set it on for both upper and lower. The number of channels is set to 15, which is great because you want to reserve one. And we have a bend range and slide mode, as well as the continuous controller number for slide. Those things should match what shows up over here in my dashboard. And they're like basically normal things. So if I play a tone, bingo, MPE, individual control over notes, pitch, vibrato, volume. I love volume. So if I get just a simple, say, chord here, I can bring out individual tones by pressure. So beautiful. Now, most of your Pigments patches will respond to MPE in satisfying ways. And there are just tons of great things. Even something like a sequence. Great fun to be able to bend a single note within a sort of an arpeggiated sequence. And of course, there's no question that it's super fun to use MPE for bass lines. So I use the Rise for a number of things, mostly in my work as an ambient composer for those beautiful sort of slippery textures where sometimes I actually want the tonality to feel a little ambiguous, but it's great for expressive performing. You know, it's a funny rubbery surface. And of course, I'm sure you've seen it before, but these keys are not keys. They're more like suggested destinations, a raised surface that's continuous. And so I have a sort of a continuous controller here, and then bumps, which give me individual tones, but which can be bent. It's awesome. Well, I hope you have a version of Pigments that allows for MPE. There are plenty of other MPE compatible synthesizers out there and other MPE controllers. I'd show you this with the Osmos. It's up at the drummer studio right now, so can't bring it in there. Blocks. And then, of course, MPE is just something that I suppose if you were going to just go ahead and like be really detailed about your programming, you could probably just kind of white knuckle a really complicated, expressive performance, just kind of line by line, graphically editing it. I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe and ding the bell. I'll see you next time.